Hello, budget friends. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa, and we are here to do the monthly budget wrap up for October 2024. We came in and forecasted the money. Now we need to talk about the actual. Let's jump in and look at the numbers. All right, you guys, before I get into anything else, I need to take the time out to tell you all thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed to the channel and continuously watch. I thank you to all the new subscribers that have gained within the last few months. I've been on YouTube now a year, and trust me, it was daunting to start out this journey, but all the outpour of support and you guys are so encouraging. I'm actually very comfortable now doing these videos, and I hope that I can encourage someone out there that no matter how bad your budget is, no matter how tight it is, no matter how bad you are with money, you can refocus, you can pivot, and you can get it together. Because you guys, we are coming from the low and we are slowly rising. So thank you so much for being here. Now let's talk about the numbers. In the month of October, we did forecast to roll over $2,000, and we started out the month with a rollover of $1,489.80. So it's a little bit less than what we thought we would start out with, but we made it work nonetheless. The main income that we forecasted for the month of October was $7,794, but in actuality, we brought in $9,279 even. Now, this is decent money, and hubby was the one who came in and helped out with the monthly budget, and I'm very, very thankful for him. Now, miscellaneous and transfers, we did not plan on doing anything in this category for the month of October, but we are working with $6,271.64. So that's a total of $17,040.44 of total income that we're working with in the month of October. We did only forecast $9,794. Now I know that you see this little section over here to the right, and I'm going to talk about this because this did affect our budget some. So if you've been here within the last two videos that I put out, I did take out a new personal loan with Upgrade. A part of it, I did a balance transfer to pay off my high interest credit card debt, and the rest of it I used to pay off my one main personal loan and a couple more credit cards. So I'm just going to talk about how that worked out for us in the month of October. So the loan that we do have to pay back is $25,000, but what we brought in as income was $23,750. And I didn't go into detail about this in my debt update because for some reason I wasn't thinking about it. I was just telling you guys about where our debt started to where it ended. But because there were some monies that affected our budget, we need to talk about it. So there was an origination fee of $1,250 that came out of the total amount of the loan that I was approved for. And yes, it is expensive, but I thought that it was well worth it for me to go ahead with the loan because, to be honest, it's going to help me with interest in the long run. So the $23,750, what I did do, I had Upgrade sent over money directly to Capital One number one, and they paid off $13,441.89. And then they paid off Discover by sending the money directly to Discover and paid off $4,967.47. That left a balance of $5,340.64, and that was transferred to my checking account. So as you can see here, I said transfer to checking, and I'm going to click on the miscellaneous and transfer. I'm not sure if you could see this little section up top in this formula here, but the $5,340.64 is a part of the miscellaneous and transfers. The additional monies was money that I got from my dental insurance, and there was some that I transferred out of savings. Now, what I did with the balance of that money, I put it in the budget and it went to paying off some additional debt. So I used a part of it to pay off the full balance of one main for $3,813.19. $675.10 went to Marcus, and $852.60 35 cents went to Chase. So it was able to pay off Marcus, pay off OneMain, and Chase was able to pay up about a part of the balance. And that brought the total loan amount down to zero. So this little calculation is just to give you an insight as to what happened with the upgrade loan and the $5,000 that went into the budget. So now let's talk about the numbers. In the monthly bill section, my rent was budgeted and we paid $2,500. Electric was budgeted at $125, but we paid $124.34. And before I go any further in this section, I do want to remind you guys that I do budget with round numbers. So everything or mostly everything in the monthly bill section is going to come in under budget because I did round up. Now, HP Inc. was budgeted at $2 and I spent $1.62. Peloton budgeted and spent $44. Google Cloud, I budgeted $3 and I spent $2.16. We skipped renter's insurance for the month of October, but iCloud storage was budgeted at $10 and we spent $9.99. SiriusXM budgeted at $8, spent $7.99. Internet budgeted $90 and we spent $83.50. Cell phone, we budgeted $260 and we spent $221.28. Now, with the internet and the cell phone, I wasn't quite sure what the bill was going to be. So that's why I did budget on the higher end for the internet. But now I do know that the bill is going to round out to be about $84 to $85 per month. So I know how to budget moving forward. The cell phone, however, the bill is supposed to be about $260 per month, but T-Mobile gave us a credit and it brought the bill down. So I'm not complaining. I'm actually pretty happy that they were able to do that for us. Now, I did forecast $3,042 in monthly bills, but we came in under budget, you guys, at $2,994.88. Into the main focus section, student loan was budgeted and we spent $40. OneMain, I budgeted $508 for the minimum payment because when I made the budget for October, I wasn't sure what was going to go on, but I did apply for the personal loan at the end of September. It was approved in October, and I was able to make a full payment and pay off OneMain for $3,813.19. Now, upgrade was not a part of the monthly budget in October, but I had to add it in. We didn't budget anything, but we paid $660 to upgrade. Lending Club was budgeted at $1060, and that's what we paid. So out of $1,608 that we forecast, we paid $5,573.19. Now into the credit card section, and if you saw my debt update, you did see what happened with our credit cards in the month of October. Marcus was budgeted at $29, and all these are just the minimum payments for all of my credit cards. We paid off Marcus, and I ended up paying a total of $687.71. Discover budgeted $150, but out of this budget, you guys, because remember, a part of Discover was paid off using the personal loan, so all I had left to pay was the interest of $52.59. Mattress Firm was budgeted at $67, and that's what we paid. Chase was budgeted at $45, but because we were able to pay extra, the total amount that was sent over was $1,700.35. Capital One was budgeted at $467, but because I used that upgrade loan to pay off the balance, all I had to pay was the interest of $289.76. Capital One number 2 budgeted at $90, but the actual minimum payment was $92, and somehow I ended up paying $92.62. Apple Card was budgeted at $25, but I ended up sending over $25.02. So $873 was the forecasted amount for credit card payments in October, but we ended up paying $2,915.05. The transportation section, water loan was budgeted at $940. I did round this amount up also, but when I went in to make the monthly payment, I made a mistake and I didn't pay the rounded amount. I paid the minimum of $939.23. Car insurance was budgeted at $260. We came in at $257.40. Gas for the cars, we budgeted $250, but we went way over budget in the month of October because I did not foresee driving as much as we did. We spent $321.05. So that puts us at $71.05 over budget. So the forecasted amount for the transportation section was $1,450, but we came in over budget and spent $1,517.68. That is $67.68 over budget. Now into the personal section, attire, nothing was budgeted, but I spent $89.06 on myself. Braids and things, we did budget $45, but I only spent $8.48. Pedicure, I did budget for a pedicure for the month of October, but I didn't do anything, so we spent $0. Personal products, I budgeted $26. I spent $23.71 and spent how I want. Nothing was budgeted, but I spent $77 even. Now, out of the $126 that was budgeted, we went over budget and spent $198.25. That is $72.25 over budget. Now, into the everyday spending section, $100 was budgeted for copay, but you guys, I still can't get this right because, like I've mentioned to you guys before, there is always a copay bill coming home in the mail. So I ended up paying out $170 for copay. Eating out was budgeted at $100. We went over budget. We spent $160.11. Groceries budgeted $850, and you guys, I am going to do the happy dance because I was able to reel in and curb the grocery budget. We came in on the budget, guys, by 4 cents because we only spent $849.96. So, applause for me, applause for me. Given, we budgeted 10 and spent 7. Household goods, here's another one. We budgeted $150, and you guys, we came in under budget, $130.29. Medication budgeted $50, went over budget slightly and spent $52.34. Propane budgeted $175, the actual bill was $156.84. And unexpected spending, we didn't budget anything, but I spent $20. I had to order new checks because we ran out of checks in the month of September. So we did budget to spend $1,435 in everyday spending, but spent $1,546.54. So that's a total over budget amount of $111.54. And you guys, this is not bad. Even though it's in the red, it is not bad, you guys. I'm getting there, slowly getting there. All right, my babies is the next section that's up. I budgeted $80 for after school, but only wrote them a check for $40 because we didn't have any more checks. Babysitter was budgeted at $80. We spent $100. Braces budgeted and spent $164. Child support, I budgeted $526. There was 3 payments that was sent over to her for $789. Clothes and shoes for the kids, I budgeted $100 but went over budget, spent $251.15. And somehow, when it comes to my kids, I always go overboard. So I need to get this together. Haircuts budgeted $60 but only got my son's haircut once for $30. So $1,010 was budgeted to send out for my babies, and we spent $1,374.15. So we are over budget by $404.15. Now into the savings section, I did budget to send over $250, but because I was over budget in so many areas, I only send over $90 to our savings. So the total income that we forecasted to bring in was the total amount we forecasted to spend, $9,794 even, but we did bring in $17,040.44, and we spent $16,209.74. So we are rolling over into the month of November, $830.70. So you guys, we didn't do terrible in the month of October. I'm pretty pleased with how the month turned out. Even though we are over budget in certain areas, I'm pleased that we were able to pay off some of our debts. So like I did mention, if you haven't seen my debt update for the month of October, go ahead and take a look. it shows what our progress was for the month, and I'm pretty happy with that. So go ahead and take a look at this video. And like I've mentioned to you guys before, thank you so much for rocking with me. It's been an awesome year on YouTube. I'm happy with how you guys have been supporting me. So I appreciate you for taking the time out to watch. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love for you to follow along with my journey and to watch me win. So until next time, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye now.